Hey guys, we're back.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Very well. So will he testify?
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
What?
Shame. Here, I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around. I'm a big fan here, Justice. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
That's the first time we called this hair justice.
And I had to put it in there.
A different angle?
He's getting so many more chances than Phoenix ever got.
Yeah, feels like it.
If Maki won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lampshade.
Lampshade?
Don't act so surprised.
Objection. What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lampshade's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can... Lampshade was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened?
Wowza.
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lampshade dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself. What? I heard no such report. Prosecutor Gavin, there's a lot that you don't know. What you don't know could fill a fucking... shit. What do you know? Who would you want kill Lampshade? I need to recollect myself here. Can you think of a reason somebody would want to kill her? Favel. Think about how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yeah? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been?
You don't think?
I do! It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouche. The killer was afraid of her and what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something like the killer doesn't want getting out, you motherfucker! So I'm to understand that this is what you're saying. Namely that there's a nugget of truth in Lampshade's testimony. A nugget we have yet to uncover. Exactly.
If Lampshade was attacked, this is serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lampshade's testimony once more.
I forgot about that.
What?
That she got jumped.
Oh, yeah. Lampshade, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand and again and speak.
You need not apologize.
Good, didn't want to anyway, dummy.
And know that Maki is innocent. And I will do all that I can until court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard gunshots, 2 gunshots, and the shooter's voice through the window. And that the voice belonged to Darianne Crescent, right?
That is correct.
At which point, I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and found to be quite soundproof.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice.
I don't know exactly yet, but I know that there's something there. There seems to be much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness could be so kind as to testify one more time to the court.
Of course, Your Honor.
What I heard. Testimony coming up. And we're back. What I heard.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Monsieur Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was a smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
Why was she in a hurry? I am sorry. I am not used to speaking so much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I said here is the truth.
Then it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to happened is impossible. Do I have to repeat myself? Did I stutter? Motherfucker! Lampshade was attacked because of this testimony!
Apollo!
What, Trucy?
Apollo! You know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool.
Whoa, maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Wow.
Very well, Mr. Justice.
Whoa.
Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness.
I'll do my best. What I heard. She's 15.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit.
That's funny that I said, did I stutter, motherfucker, and that he was cool. Alright.
Is something wrong?
I raised an objection, but she's saying the same thing as before.
Mr. Justice.
Sorry, it's nothing. Please continue with your testimony.
Now I know where they say. Now I know what they mean about the reckless youth these days.
The one on the red over there is a shining example here, Judge. You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar, if that is your real name.
That is when I helped them, Monsieur Letus and the detective.
Darien Crescent?
I did not know his name at the time. But oui, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday.
How many times do I need to remind you that it's impossible? There is no way you could have held him, dummy.
Stunt cock. It could have
What?
been a stunt double. Someone else could have been playing the guitar.
Oh, you think
With like a wig on.
Oh. Because the window was closed at the scene? He's talking about something else. Is that why?
Oops.
Of course.
Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try. What were they talking about? Well, we just established they can't hear, or, well, I mean,
Did you hear anything else? And no need. Other questions.
What were they
Talking about.
What are they talking about? Lampshade, do you have anybody by any chance know what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us.
I have given it much reflection, but
I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember.
I only heard one phrase clearly.
A whole phrase? You remember something that was said?
Why didn't you say anything yesterday?
Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said.
This could be it. The clue, what I was waiting for. What did he say?
It was the other man speaking, not Monsieur Retus.
The shooter then, Darien Crescent, yeah.
What did he say?
It's over. Press the switch now.
Switch? And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Letus?
I thought it was quite strange myself afterwards.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
I'd be delighted. It's, very, very vital. Maybe we can add it to the testimony.
Maybe? Apollo? From the small window, I heard a voice say, press the switch now.
And it was Detective Darien Crescen's voice?
Oui, I am sure of it.
It's over. Press the switch, motherfucker. Why did he say that to Mr. Latouche?
Apollo? The murder weapon? The revolver was Mr. Latouche's, right?
Yeah, what of it, motherfucker?
Well, maybe when he said press the switch, he really meant to say pull the trigger. Because his English isn't so good.
Darien Crescent is a native speaker.
Oh, right. Sorry, I kind of forgot who was what.
Press the switch.
It has to do with the magic. Uncle Valiant.
The
I'm
thing
sure.
that set the guitar on fire
Yeah.
that wasn't even planned.
Yeah.
That's not something the killer usually says to the victim, or is it?
But that was at a different time. That was a different switch. They already pressed that switch. But it's got to be something along those lines. They've already set the thing on fire. Because Lampshade was on stage at that time.
Weren't two of those vices found?
Yeah, there were two.
One was hooked to the couch in that room.
Yeah.
Was it in whose dressing room was it in? Does anybody remember where we found it?
It probably says in our inventory. Fraser's looking through the inventory. Igniter, identical igniters in Gavin's guitar, and at the crime scene.
At the crime scene.
Okay.
So,
All right. Something
Whoa.
to think about.
Was there no one else in the room?
I do not know. All I heard was Monsieur Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of the gun. Faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. So she couldn't have been close.
the window was closed, and that's why the gunshot
Oh.
was muffled. And that's what's making it so hard to believe she heard their
Yeah.
voices, which I think is the earpiece.
Right, right.
I think they were talking over the things, and it came over her radio too.
Our cock ring is up there, but it's not lit up.
Yeah.
Just a note.
All right. There were two gunshots.
Oui, I heard two. One after the other.
That fits with the bullet holes at the scene. Nothing really new here to pick up.
There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but
So she could even smell gunpowder through a
Yeah.
closed window? What the fuck?
you did it.
Why didn't you tell someone immediately?
Well,
If it were me, I would have gone to the police right away. It's our duty as citizens.
This may be besides the point, but Lampshade isn't a citizen. So, one would hope such a common sense prevails in Boschini as well? You really are a dummy.
Lampshade seems awfully quiet all of a sudden.
That's strange. Could she be hiding something?
It is as you say, yet at the time I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window. Why were you in a hurry?
You were in a hurry to go where?
I was on my way to the backstage exit, as I have said.
Why were you in such a hurry then, huh?
Well,
Oh, you had to poop, didn't you? You were about to shit yourself, weren't you, Lampshade?
No,
Tell us
no.
about it.
What did she actually say?
I don't know. Shit. It very well might. Please answer the question. She was dodging it.
Okay.
So. Are you all right, Lampshade?
Oui, I'm just tired.
Do you have to poop, Lampshade?
No.
Recall what I said to you yesterday, here, forehead. Lampshade suffers from IBD. Wait, IBS. Both same thing? No. Serious amnesia. Please refrain from traumatizing her further. Grr! What? So we can just dismiss the question? You think they're too traumatizing? Why don't you prove her reason had connection to the case before asking about the job?
The prosecution's objection is sustained.
Was she going there to get, Maki? How would she have known that Maki was there, though? Because she said she was in a hurry to get to the backstage.
Oh, wait, wasn't
Exit.
she in a hurry because of the teleportation act on stage?
No, that was
Oh yeah, that's already
earlier.
that's the previous act.
Yeah. She had no reason to be in a hurry.
Wait,
She was finished.
Wasn't she coming back from?
The teleportation thing, it happened in the second act, and it was during the third
Oh.
act that he got shot.
Oh.
She was totally
The
dead.
current question is moot. Mr. Justice, please continue with your
No, it's not. No, it's
cross-examination.
not.
Lamb, she was attacked because of this testimony. I know that she was. Something's gotta be hidden here.
Maybe there's some detail we're missing.
I guess we'll just have to fill her in the blanks.
Right.
Alright, so.
Go Apollo. Go Apollo.
Yeah! One of the things that. Should we get back to that statement that we injected?
Yeah. Which one was that?
That.
Okay. Because there was another option.
Should we, like, try to put the other part in? Because press the switch now. She heard him say press the switch now. Right?
And it was Detective Darian Crescent's voice.
And there's nothing that we can, like.
We.
Oh, you can't even. Wait, how do you.
Was that the one that we.
I think here. Oh, you can't even you can't even inject the other piece now. Like I thought we could switch it.
Me too. Shitter.
All right, so we need to find contradiction.
Okay, wait, go back.
We're back.
Or forward. The statement that starts at from the. That's what I heard. From the small window, I heard a voice say, press the switch now. You can't hear that. Because the window is closed. And they've said in other testimony that it's soundproof, but I don't know how we can prove that. And then this is where the headset will come in. Because the headset receives transmitter for voice signals 30-foot range.
We still. What was her excuse for her brooch appearing in the room?
She went in after or something. You can touch the details there. Maybe it would say something about how the window was closed. Check. Fuck, it's not even on there.
Oh yeah, you can actually. Wow, you can actually go through this whole thing,
I feel like we'll have to do that at some point.
right?
Maybe that isn't the right one.
Currently, we really want to get on
Can you
to
click on that again?
what?
The cocoon, it says right on it that it cures anchoritis. Remedy for anchoritis.
We really want to get to the point of the headset,
Yeah.
but it might not be the time. I don't know. Heard the faint sound of gunshots and stopped. Then heard another gunshot.
Maybe this one?
What do you present?
I don't know, man. She also says from the small window she heard them talking. Then it's right there. She heard them talking. Then I heard a faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Heard another gunshot. Was in a hurry, so kept moving past the small window. Smelt it. Was in a hurry, kept moving past the small window.
Okay, let's knock down some of these.
Okay.
We're not going to contradict that, right?
how do we have proof that she was not on her
Wait a
way from the stage to the
She might not even gone past that small window.
from the stage to the backstage exit. We're just looking at the map and it shows the piano and everything
Oh, yeah.
upstairs and then the dressing room's downstairs, but we don't really know which way she was walking or... That's when I heard them. Can't really do anything with that.
Can anybody who knows, this is definitely the right thing to have been injected, right? Like, I'm not missing the fact that we could swap out.
You got this statement about the phrase being spoken by pressing something else, so maybe...
That's what I'm saying. That's when I say what we injected. It was one of those moments where we had a choice, and we put that in there. And from what I can see, I can't get that to come up again. I press this and press the statement before it, and it doesn't seem to get me back to that point where I can choose. You're looking at it, okay. Because I don't think you can get it back now. And if you can't get it back, then I would assume we have the right statement in there.
She can't smell because she's blind. Yeah, it's the right one.
Good.
The right statement for presenting. Okay, thank you.
There's nothing that contradicts that. There's nothing.
Yeah, I know that the trigger says something about a 30-foot range, but we're within a 30-foot range. If we're right on the other side of the room. Like if she's on the other side of the small window.
I guess technically that does contradict her. This contradicts that it came from the small window. Because this whole time I've been thinking that now is not the time to present this, because I'm not, by presenting it, I'm saying you heard him, but you heard him over this. That's not a contradiction. That's just an alteration of her statement. But it is technically a contradiction, because this proves it wasn't from the window. It was from her headset.
Jesus. Yikes.
See if that's it.
Alright.
Fuck. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
Not sure I follow you.
It clearly contradicts, I thought. Alright. I think that's a good one. And technically it does contradict it. So her statement specifically says, from the small window I heard them. And we're
sorry guys. Should we save now?
No, fuck it.
Okay.
Presenting the remote that is a switch right now makes no sense. It doesn't contradict the statement in any way. It absolutely isn't a contradiction.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with this statement. Well, besides the fact
They
that
said
it
present
is
the
the
switch. Well, they couldn't have, because here's the switch. It's in my hand, not theirs.
No,
Like
maybe
what?
maybe it does though. Like we're asserting that the switch they're talking about is this one that was underneath. But that's not a contradiction.
That's not a contradiction. That's not how the game works. You don't
confirmation,
add
kind
things.
of.
Be like, oh, it's funny you mentioned that. Here, look at this, objection. Here's a switch. That's not how the game works. It's always supposed to be a contradiction. It's not a take that. Take that is when they ask you for evidence. Take that is very specific. It's when you're tasked with finding evidence. Like the judge says, show us something.
I think they're
No, it absolutely always is a contradiction.
subtly trying to tell us that that's what it is.
What? The switch?
Yeah.
Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh? Is it a contradiction? Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called the switch to save the lights. Saves the lights switch.
I'm so sorry, Fresh.
True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. But it just so happens I have the switch right here. This isn't a contradiction. Fuck you.
That certainly looks like a switch, doesn't it?
What's your objection? The problem is, this was not found at the scene of the crime, but on the stage.
The stage?
Where the concert was held, yes. So the contradiction is that the switch wasn't in that room? That
I thought it
because
was under the couch.
I found that was the device
Oh.
that the switch ignites. So because I found a switch somewhere, it contradicts that guy having a switch from any other location or source.
Phoenix, right?
This was found hidden there! On this stage!
Are you claiming that the voice lampshade heard was a someone commanding the other to press this switch?
It's a possibility!
This switch was on the victim's person? Is that true? No, he just said it was on the stage. Didn't they just say what?
They just said no switch was on the victim.
Oh. Oops.
This still isn't a contradiction, because it's saying, you said he had a switch? That's impossible, because there was a switch that I found somewhere else, and it's the only switch in existence. So it must be true that they didn't have a switch. That doesn't make sense. Me raging over Phoenix Wright in Morty's voice is actually pretty funny. Like, I'm not even putting on that voice on purpose, by the way. Yeah, it's exactly Bulldog Archer.
So
I got a switch, so take that. You can't have one. If I have one, nobody else can. Oh, her forehead? I'd call that an impossibility. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lampshade's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviniers were in the middle of a stage on stage. So, we are known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard.
The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout.
So to have her forehead's cries possibility fallen far short of being heard. Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout. Excuse me? Oh my god. You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you, motherfucker? It would have been quite impossible not to be heard on the stage from that dressing
To be
room.
heard.
Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this, motherfucker? Using this, it would have been easy to get a message from someone to the stage to the dressing room.
I'm surprised that the judge is letting them get away with this talk. Apollo. All the motherfuckers?
Oh, well.
Not
The
appropriate.
judge is titillated by it.
Oh, really?
It's like he's in an R-rated film
Ooh.
that his mom would never let him watch. Press Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this. Visats?
What? What is it? It's some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking.
Jesus Christ, no, it's a type transmitter. A communications device. God.
Communications device?
From what I heard, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes. Actually, except for talking between band members. We all had fun. So you admit that you were wearing one of these? Talking from backstage to the stage would have been simple. Objection! True but fake. Those sent out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited.
Lampshade said it was about 30 feet, right?
Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet. That can't be!
So when Lampshade heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Rubble.
Ha! You're claiming this is the switch in question? Why did it have to be on stage at the time? It could have been placed in the pocket to carry it anywhere. That's my proposition. Is it true? Someone could have hid it on stage after the fact.
Hey, he's got a point.
Yeah, he really does. Fuck.
It's a coward. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice?
Oh, I don't know. Fucking what does it matter?
When the shooter said press the switch.
Well, I guess we don't. Oh, fuck.
Good point.
An unfortunate situation.
Thanks for proving my own point, game.
I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it.
Erg. I'm sure, but this is the way to go with this. Was it this switch anyway? We don't even know that basic fact. Wait a second, I got an erection. I'm gonna take a break. Be back.